And then we have not just that one fall or rebellion, but the divine council worldview brings us through to understand that there were at least at a minimum of three rebellions that the Bible gives answer to why things are so messed up in this world. We have the one in Genesis in the garden. Then we have the second in Genesis 6, where it says the sons of God came down to lay with the daughters of men, and then the Nephilim appeared on the earth, and then
Right.
everything just gets crazy. And it's a short snippet of biblical text, but it has a robust context within the literature, Second Temple literature, and intertestamental period that shows us that short snippet of writing has a robust context about it. And we can talk more about that later, but that's the second rebellion. The third rebellion is at the Tower of Babel. And when we first read the Tower of Babel, at plain reading, we don't get a lot of the sense of divine rebellion. But you definitely can infer it from the actual text. But then in Deuteronomy 32, when Moses speaks, and this is why we can also call this divine council worldview the Deuteronomy 32 worldview, is because in Deuteronomy 32, Moses looks back on the Tower of Babel and says that at this rebellion, God gave up the nations to members of his divine council, that he wanted to steward these nations correctly, but just like humanity, these divine council members rebelled, and instead of pushing them towards the one true God, tried to not only take the worship of the nations, but tried to take the worship of God's chosen people. And that's how Moses looked back on the Tower of Babel, and those three rebellions carried throughout the Old Testament through places like Daniel, when he meets the prince of the power of air and that was subverted in Persia, all these things. When we meet Paul and he says, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, we